Yeah, so I guess the badges are all
It's just
combined.
one card now. That's crazy, dude. I remember because last year we got 2 cards.
Yeah. So I guess it's just so you don't share your badge or try to sell it. You have to keep the
That's
badge
true.
altogether.
Yeah, you could just change the little paper in the back of it. Because I got the 2 papers, but I only have 1 card. Damn, dude, it's the future. Alright, everybody, welcome to Hot Couch Potato. My name is Brent, aka Boowop. I'm here with my man's Rick, aka Rex Falsey. What's going on, man?
Hey, not much. Just got done moving up here in LA, and it's pretty freaking hot up here. So
Down
I'm
here
just used-
too, man.
yeah, used to that San Diego weather where it's always like 70 degrees throughout the entire year. So I'm missing that already.
And it's even compounded right now because Rick's internet is not the best. That's why I was always concerned about his move, asking him if he would be able to make the call today. But right now, tell us about your current environment, Rick. How's it looking out there for you?
Right now, I'm sitting on top of the Hilton Hotel. So I'm living the No, fuck that. I'm in a garage. A parking garage. I'm hot spotted with my phone, holding up my microphone to my face, and I'm in the back seat of my car, not even in the front seat, with the AC on.
If that's not dedication, I don't know what is, man.
I was thinking about going to Starbucks, but I don't want anyone to hear me talking and rambling on.
Oh man, so there's this scene in that show I was telling you about earlier, a couple podcasts ago, called Masters of None.
Uh-huh.
And the main character in that show, he's an actor, and his claim to fame is like a commercial or something. But he wants to get into movies, so he does an audition for a movie, and they let him go. They're like, whatever. They'll do a little second interview or second audition, and they want him to do it over Skype, but he's not home, or his internet's bad, just like yours. So he has to go to a Starbucks and do the audition from a Starbucks.
Wow, holy shit.
And I guess the movie is there's a virus that's killing everybody, and he's a scientist that's trying to make a cure. And I guess the scene that he's acting out, he's handling the virus and he drops it, and he has to act like he's getting infected, you know? So he's yelling in the Starbucks saying, "No! It's happening!" or something, and everybody's just staring at him, dude. And
I hope he aced it, man.
And the best part, right? The best part of it is, he's done with the audition, and the guy's like, "Okay, good job. If we'll let you know if you got the part or something, you know." And they don't hang up the Skype call, and they start talking to each other, and they say, "Is that guy in a fucking Starbucks?" It's just so awkward. And he goes, I can still hear you guys."
Oh no.
So good.
I would have left that on and just hear what they had to say, like let the awkwardness grow, and fuck, dude.
Yeah, which is, I wouldn't be opposed to going to a Starbucks just because of the content. It would be amazing, I think. You did it from a Starbucks, man.
Yeah, my internet at the place was at 6 megabits per second. What I mentioned earlier, and we were with AT&T, and that's the only type of speed we can get, the bandwidth we can get. But we had a technician come and fix our internet today, and he said, "Oh yeah, now you're at 4 megabits per second." And I'm like, "Fuck!" So we test the speed, and it turns out I only could get like almost 2 megabits per second and 0.5 for upload speed. So that's why I'm sitting here in the car with my hotspot, hoping that this is a better connection.
So it got worse.
Yeah.
And is this wired that you got 2 megabits or wireless?
Yeah.
Oh my
it
god.
was wired. Man. Yeah, dude. So, for advice for people that are moving into different places, make sure you check your internet first, the internet provider. That's the only thing, because this world revolves around internet, and I don't know how these people are living in this building without the speed of the internet. Everything's going digital. TV, phone, and everything runs off the internet. But here, I'm buffering every 30 seconds.
Damn, dude. That sucks. Goodbye, Netflix 4K.
Yeah.
Goodbye, YouTube Red.
Oh, God.
That's crazy, man. You're toughing it out there. Toughing it out is that should be a human rights violation. Having internet that slow.
Yeah. I wanted to start a riot with the property manager. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
That's crazy, man. So no internet. Well, we won't say no internet. We'll say low internet.
Slower internet. Yeah.
That's wild, man. Yeah, you might have to go to a Starbucks next time.
Yeah. Well, I like the backseat of my car. You know, it gets the job done, so no one can watch me act out a scene in Starbucks.
Okay, I feel that. So kind of a short week for us, man. The last podcast we recorded was on Sunday, and today is Friday, the 7th, I think. Yeah, July 7th. Today is July 7th. So kind of a short week for us. Wasn't that long ago that we talked, but in the meantime, in those 6-7 days, man, what have you been playing?
Well, before I moved, I've been playing Final Fantasy, and the last fight that I fought was in a trial, a dungeon, and it was the Ravana fight.
You actually did that?
Yeah, I did it with Russ and my cousin John Raymond, and it's that primal with the, is it 4 or 6 swords?
Yeah, I think it's 4. He has 4 swords.
Yeah, and John Raymond was the main tank while I was the off tank, and we went in the dungeon, and it was my first time playing that dungeon, and I remember at the last part of, like, we were getting close to killing Ravana. He was down to less than maybe 1/10 of his health. The off tank, there's a role in for the off tank, and what he does is he has to direct the main boss's fury of attacks away from the entire team. But people didn't know. Half of the team didn't know, and they ended up crowding around me. So I tried to run away from everybody because I'm supposed to take all of his hits, because it's like a forward AoE kind of damage. And it turns out it ended up killing half of the team. So there's only 3 people left. And 1, it's John Raymond, the main tank. 2, I think it's Russ, and he was the bard. And 3, it was like some random DPS. So basically we're like, oh shit, we're gonna wipe, you know, at the very last end, we're gonna wipe. But John Raymond pulled through. He popped all of his buffs, and he held out to like the last 10 seconds before he started taking like full damage. And they managed to beat the boss, like right when he was about to get wiped. So
holy shit! He was at the end. It was just him by himself, and he pulled it out.
It was him, but like if he would have died, then it only takes 1 swipe for the other 2 DPS, because you know their health is not, you know, not that high. But at the very last second, that was when he was able to land the final blow with the other 2 DPS, and I think it was with Russ. And you know, it was just so intense, that feeling again, just like, oh my god, here lies a true heroes saving the day at the last second. And I was like, damn, if only I could have survived to live to tell the tale. But
yeah,
you know, I was the one that wiped with everybody because everybody wanted to hug me. I was like, oh, god damn it.
They were playing a triple triad on your body, dude. Just playing some cards on your dead body.
Yeah, fuck them, but yeah.
So that's weird to me, right? So you're tanking him and he's facing you. Conventional wisdom, I main DPS in Final Fantasy. Wouldn't conventional wisdom tell you to attack the boss from behind anyways? That's so weird to me that you had to manually take the guy to not face all the DPS. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. And I was trying to run away from the crowd, but the people were following me. So they, you know, I was like, I would think they would run to the boss to get behind him, but they were trying to run around the boss. Like, they were taking the long way around. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna wipe. And, you know, soon enough, they did wipe. And I was like, damn.
That's wild, man. Yeah, for me, because I played that with Black Mage, I just did my rotations, man. I didn't even, there's maybe a couple things, a couple AoEs that take up the whole screen where you have to move to a specific spot. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really trip out, and stress about it too much. I was just throwing fire fours everywhere, or fire three at that point. But I
Yeah.
think I can empathize with you a lot more, with stressing out with these encounters, playing a little bit of Paladin that I did, um, over the weekend, especially with you and Eric, and just me trying to hold the enmity or the aggro was a super challenge, man. I didn't think it would be that hard, but it is a lot more thinking. At least, well, I guess maybe because I haven't been playing it. I've been
Uh,
playing Black Mage, so I know the ins and outs, but I haven't been playing Paladin, and I have to think about everything.
yeah, and back in the day when people were tanking, if the enemy just suddenly just kind of just glanced at another player, that player would immediately get mad and like, why did you lose aggro for that 1 second? Oh my god, they were crazy back in the day. That's how it
Hmm.
was, and that's why the tension, like I would not lose aggro, and if I did, it was very rare. But now these days, I lose aggro, and good thing that the society changed or the people changed because now they don't really care. And then now when I started playing, oh, also when I started playing DPS, I think it's pretty challenging to play DPS too because you have to keep up your rotations, you got to keep your combos up, and
Hmm.
if you don't DPS fast enough, then it's like it's really tough. And then you have to dodge stuff on top of that. So I always thought DPS job was like pretty easy, but no, actually it's pretty challenging too.
You think so? I mean,
Yeah,
what which DPS class were you playing?
I was playing ninja, and
Oh,
so
okay, okay.
yeah, you gotta keep up your dot, or I think I only have one dot at the moment. But anyways, yeah, you just got, and then you have to position yourself at the same time, dodging and killing the ads and stuff like that. But being raised as a tank, you don't do that. You just run in the crowd, and then pop one cooldown, and then just rotate your rotations. But with the DPS, you gotta actually kill stuff, and if you don't kill stuff fast enough, then people will die, and I don't know. I find DPS pretty challenging too. So
Yeah, I think I hear what you're saying. The main thing with it is keeping your combos up and not dropping them, especially with Black Mage that I play. I have a timer on how long my combo lasts. This it's called Umbral Fire, I think. Astral Fire.
damn.
I have no idea. So I have 13 seconds to get as many of these fire spells that I can get out. And it takes maybe 2.5 seconds for each one to go out. So I have to time it in my head. At the same time, I have to look at my MP to make sure I'm not draining all my MP. But
Yep.
since I've been playing it, it's kind of second nature to me. I can memorize when everything's gonna go down and the timing of it. Um, but if I'm a tank, the rotation of okay, I hit this guy once, his aggro's on me. I flashed all their aggro's on me. Wait, everybody's attacking this guy. I should do a combo so I get the aggro back. Oh wait, I'm running out of MP. I should do this combo to get MP back. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
I guess I'm still learning it. It's
Yeah.
similar to if you're trying to learn a language or something, or I know a little bit of Spanish, but if I watch Spanish television or someone speaking Spanish to me, it's gonna take me a while to get it because I got to go through the process of hearing it, translating it in my brain, and then making sense of it.
Yeah.
So it's just that same process of it's just going a little bit slower through the head. It's not second nature yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here with me and DPSing. I'm just used to just going in and then just flashing everything, but now I gotta dodge everything. So it's changed my
you, you
perspective a
you
lot.
can't take the hits no more, man. I
Nope,
know
nope. One
the
hit and I'm dead. I'm like, fuck, dude.
you're not the healer's priority anymore, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, Ravana is a fun fight. So just like you, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 as well all week. Haven't really dropped it to play anything else, but I've just been able to get into the new content, the new expansion Stormblood content.
Oh, how
Um,
is it, dude?
it's awesome, actually. I don't want to spoil too much, but when you get to the new area, Doma, that's modeled after Japan, I think you'll like it a lot, man. There's a lot of little inside jokes too. This isn't spoiling too much. There's this inside joke where there's negotiation to try and free some prisoners, and the whole mission for this negotiation is for you to wait outside while it's going on. And all you do is click the same spot maybe 3 or 4 times and just wait. And the reason is because, just like Japan, everybody kind of talks in circles and they don't say what they directly mean, right? There's a tact and some strategy behind your words and how you say it, right? To be diplomatic about things. So while you're waiting there, one of the other side characters is with you saying, they're probably still introducing themselves to each other. This is going to take forever. And then you click the waiting spot again and they go, they're probably still introducing themselves to each other. Can we just go in there already and break them out? So I think you'll enjoy it once you get to that area. I don't want to spoil too much, man. So we'll just leave it at that. But it's really cool. I'm still in the first spot. I've done a couple dungeons, and that's what I was going to get to. There's a lot of new mechanics in the new dungeons, and I think it's because everybody's got these new abilities for their jobs. So, for example, a black mage isn't really mobile. I have to stand in one spot. I have a cast timer, so my attacks can go out. But now there's abilities that I have to make me more mobile, and I think the game is moving more towards that. The first boss in the first new dungeon I did, it had an AoE that took up half the stage.
Oh, and so I was standing. Like, run.
Yeah, so I was standing on the complete opposite side. The whole side was orange. I had to run all the way past the boss to the other side of the stage. I didn't make it, and I got hit. I was like, shit. It just took off, half of my health. So I just did my thing. I learned. I just told myself, okay, I'm just gonna stand close to the back of the boss. Either way he turns, at least I can just go to the other side of him. Just easy peasy, right? Mm-hmm. So that was a new one. There's AoEs take up a lot more space now. There's really small, specific areas where you got to go. Similar to Circus Tower. I think in Circus Tower there were some spots that were like that. And then another movie there was a crosshair above my head, and I go, okay, maybe he's just gonna aim the next attack at me, and the healer's just got to heal me through it. That's cool, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Damage starts pulsing off of me, and I think it's one of those circles that I'm standing in, so I try to move not to be in that circle that's damaging me, but no, it's following me, dude. I just keep exploding and I die.
Wow. So you had to like run away from the exploding circles?
Well, no, it was just I was exploding, my body was exploding. So even wherever I moved, I would still explode. And I swear to you, not even 2 seconds after I died, maybe a second after I died, I get the res text box saying they want to res you. Do you accept? And I go, whoa, that person knew I was going to die right here. I just click yes right away and I'm back at it. And I see, so we're still fighting. We have the boss to about a 4th health right now. And I see that crosshair pop up on the other DPS's head. And I kind of run to the side. He follows me and the healer follows us too. And it starts exploding. And we're all taking damage, but it's less, and it wouldn't actually kill him.
Oh, so then I started thinking, we
all have to split the damage up and soak it. So those were only the real 2 mechanics in that fight that were new. After we got past that, we beat it. It was just we didn't wipe. I was the only one that died, so we beat it easy peasy after that. But we're running to the next spot. I'm thanks for the res. It's funny you knew right away. And the healer goes, yeah, I knew you didn't know what you were doing. But it's all good. Next time, just soak up that damage.
Just say you wanted to be a hero. You wanted to take the damage for all yourself.
Yeah, I'd rather die than.
Yeah, there you go. I'd rather die for you guys.
But yeah, there's new mechanics like that. You definitely have to move around a lot more. So I'm seeing where it's gonna be a lot more fun. I think the play style of Black Mages, where you stand, set up your little circle to buff your attacks in one spot, and just go through your rotations. That's not the case anymore. You got to manage the time, your MP, your placement, the healing, all that stuff. So
yeah, see, that's what like gets me with the DPS. You got to remember all that, and it's just I'm just used to just going in and just gathering all the aggro without having really to worry so much of my rotation, just as long as I can keep the aggro.
Well, I don't know, man. Yeah, the gameplay has really changed after 60. I thought I was overpowered, when I was doing these under level 60 dungeons and stuff with all my new abilities. But now that I'm in the content where I'm supposed to be using this on the regular, it's kind of wild, man. So we'll see. I don't want to say too much because I don't know too much about the Paladin, but it'll be interesting to see how the gameplay changes for you at level 60. It'll be more fun, though. I think it'll be more active than just flashing and doing a couple combos.
Yeah, yeah.
So I look forward to it, man. I look forward to us playing high-level content together, man.
Yeah, I just got to figure out how to start playing that. Well, hopefully my internet's stable enough where I can be able to at least play with you guys. I'm gonna see if I can be able to play tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool, man. I'll definitely be on most of the day tomorrow too, so should be cool. Last week we started the countdown. Wait, are you playing anything else? I don't want to just gloss over.
Yeah, no.
Because I'm
Nothing
the
else
same way,
with
man.
with this internet speed. No, nothing.
Well,
I
I
opened
mean,
up Steam
what
and
about
it took forever to open up Steam.
well, what about what do you call it, man? What's that game you're playing on the DS? That farming game with the dragon with the girly
Oh
boy?
yeah, I still gotta play that game. Yeah, Rune Factory.
Yeah, you haven't been playing that since Final Fantasy either?
Nah. I just really want to play Final Fantasy right now.
Yeah.
But I should get to other games. See, that's why I can't finish other games, is because I tend to get sidetracked and start getting focused in another game, and then I leave the other games unfinished, and it just creates my backlog. So,
That's definitely true, man. Yeah, I feel that. I think I have that same addictive personality a little bit, but we're jumping the gun a little bit. I'm not doing anything else either. I'm just playing Final Fantasy 14. There's been opportunities that I could have played other games. For example, there was maintenance yesterday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., which is around the prime time that I play. But I opted to just catch up on some sleep. I think I went to sleep yesterday around 9:30. It was amazing, man.
Oh, it must be nice, old man.
It was super nice. I woke up today refreshed. I go, you know what? It's Friday, and I know I got to go to work and do nothing, but I'm refreshed. We're good. So, anyways, as I was saying, on Sunday we started the countdown to Comic-Con. Coming up quick, man. We're at 13 days already. It's not next week, but the week after starts on the 20th. I think the 19th is preview night, but we'll be going on the 20th for the Thursday stuff.
Yeah. And luckily there's not that many exclusives that I want, so I don't have to camp the day before just to get that exclusive.
Yeah, man. Rick is a man of action when it comes to these exclusives. I don't even know how he does it. I remember maybe the past 2 or 3 years, we'd pick up our badges, or maybe, yeah, it was 2 years ago, we'd pick up our badges from a hotel, since that was the process. You ordered online, then you could pick up your badge from the hotel early in Mission Valley, and then the next thing you know, we'd go to Target or something, and Rick would be buying a foldable chair, a freaking or a sleeping bag, a tent, some food, a bunch of stuff just so he could wait outside. This was
charger.
Wednesday afternoon. We're picking up our Comic-Con tickets. That night, he's going to the convention center, waiting outside.
Yeah, so for that exclusive.
Rick is the man of action when it comes to those, man. I remember specifically too, one time we're buying all these chips and stuff, and I was gonna buy some chips for myself, and Rick was so quick. He said, "Oh, you're coming with us, man?" I go, "No, I'm not coming. Yeah. I'm just buying chips so I can sleep comfortably at home."
I remember the first time I actually ever done it was like I think 3 or 4 years ago, and it was for like the Green Ranger Dragon Dagger, and I remember I camped out with a couple of friends on a Wednesday night. Got my dagger a Thursday, so I was pretty exhausted. But it turns out my cousin, or I forget who, somebody else wanted the Dragon Dagger. So I ended up waiting again, camping out that same night and for the next day. So I did it for almost 3 days in a row, just camping out. And from that point, I was so done with Comic-Con. I didn't even care. I wanted to go home. And I was like telling myself, next year I will not camp out. But guess what? The next year I did end up camping out for another different exclusive. So This year, I swear to God, I am not camping out for anything because I don't see
Nope.
anything I want.
The man of action. Something will find. There's gonna be something. There's gonna be, Boku no Hero Academia
Oh shit,
headband
dude.
or something.
No,
You could get the
no,
gauntlets
nah.
that one of the guys have, and
Nah,
you're gonna just
bro.
line.
God.
I gotta go, guys, now.
Oh, gotta get my tent. Oh God.
But you know what? I remember that year, and the thing I remember about that year is I didn't see you. I hardly saw you.
Yeah.
I think we kicked it for a little bit Thursday, which is funny because Danny, he got a ticket too to pick up the dagger. I guess he lined up with you, but he didn't want to buy it anymore.
Yep.
So he ended up giving it to me, and I bought it.
Yeah. So he did the work, and you got the dagger.
Which is crazy to me because I wasn't really tripping about it. In fact, I bought it. I think it was what, $150. That's how much we bought it for.
Yeah.
So
it's like 150 or 125 actually.
Wait, when was this? Was this 2012?
12 or 13.
Okay, so we bought it. Let's say 2013, right? Bought that. Didn't do anything with it. I think I put it under my bed, right? Last year I quit my job and I was just grinding it out, and I was like running short. I was kind of strapped for cash. So this was maybe 3 years after we bought this thing, right? And I'm cleaning out my room and I see it under my bed and I go, oh hey, I still have this. Maybe I could sell it, Post it up on eBay, sell it for $470, man.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. I sold mine for $400.
Yeah, so, the grind was real on that one, but ultimately it was a good investment. Just the crazy things you got to do for him, man.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, that's why I said this year I am done. I just want to enjoy the con, enjoy everything outside of it too, because I'm pretty tired when it comes to camping at night. I think I'm old. My knees hurt.
It's too much Anime Expo and PlayStation Experience. It's just stacking up on you now, bros.
Yeah, dude. And a very side note, for the Anime Expo on Sunday, I was texting a couple of our friends, Dustin and Kat, and I was like saying, how's the line? And I was like snickering because I was thinking that they were going to be lined up for that 4-hour line that I endured. But it turns out they didn't even wait for like more than 20 minutes and they were able to get their badge and walk in. And I was like,
my
what
God.
In the world? What happened? How? So now, like, next year, if I ever do go, I'm either going on a Sunday and I'm getting my badge way in advance because fuck that shit. I am not waiting in the line no more. Oh, no, wait. Next year, they're mailing their badges. There you go.
Even better. Even better.
Yeah, even better.
Doesn't that suck, though, that they're learning from your mistakes or from the mistakes they made on you?
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm just salty a little, but...
No, you're Anime Expo Jesus, man. You suffered for their sins, and now they get to enjoy it, bro.
Yeah, I bet they did.
That's funny,
I was pretty much done when I was done with that line. I was like, I just want to go home as soon as I got in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking from learning from experiences, Comic-Con has changed drastically from his earliest inception, man.
Yep.
We were both born and raised in San Diego, so we legitimately grew up with Comic-Con, right? Do you remember your first time going, man?
I do, and it was this is the only memory I really remembered, and it was so impactful. So, I was getting excited because this is my first convention going anywhere. But it was like me and my cousins, and we're going to the convention center. It was supposed to be about comics and anime. That was the reason why I was like really interested in going. So we take the trolley over there, and I think I was like in middle school or maybe starting high school. I don't remember, but I was blown away by what I saw when I got off the trolley. So as soon as we got off the trolley, it was just so much stuff, like there's a lot of things going on, a lot of posters, a lot of entertainment, a lot of things. And this was before, Comic-Con was actually big. But the first thing I saw when I got off the trolley was a topless girl.
And nothing was ever the same for Rick.
No bra, no shirt, no. Just I was like, oh my god, I love Comic-Con. I'm gonna go next year. I don't even know what this is about, but I'm gonna go this next year. But that was the biggest impression, that left a mark on my very first Comic-Con, thinking that this is gonna be a good day.
Oh my god, man.
So, but yeah, it was cool when I got in, but that was the thing. I didn't really remember anything what I did with my cousins. I just remember that particular scene. It was just like a really petite blonde. She was pretty tall and just like shortcut jeans and just no shirt. And I was like, whoa, dude.
You really
I don't
remember.
know what cosplay you're playing, but you
really
did a
remember
good job.
You really remember every detail about that moment, dude.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
dude. I was like, holy shit, dude. I swear to God, I think I was in middle school or maybe starting high school, but yeah, that was my first con back in the day. So.
And it was just spur of the moment. Oh, you wanted to check out anime or comics and stuff, or?
Yeah, my cousins were saying like this was about comics and they even have anime in some games, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll come and join you guys. And this is the time where you can go ahead and purchase a badge on site without worrying about a crowd. So we didn't really have a badge when going there, but yeah, it was completely amazing. So that was my first experience.
My first experience, that's kind of similar, I think. Well, no naked. I take that back. So, my dad was always into that stuff. He's the one that got me. He bought video games. He's the one that got into gaming. I remember he had this Akira shirt from Hot Topic back in the day before I knew what anime was. My dad had an Akira shirt with fucking Tetsuo on it, just like going Super Saiyan and stuff.
OG,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. My dad was with the shits. So I remember one year, it might have been, I don't know when Comic-Con started. That's something I'll have to look up for next time. But I want to say it was even elementary school, man. Maybe middle school. But my dad, he was in the Navy. He worked in Coronado, right? So back in the day, you actually had to pay to cross the bridge. But if you had someone with you, there was a carpool lane, and you have to pay to get across the bridge, right?
Uh-huh.
So we drive across the bridge, and I think, I'm just a free ride across the bridge from my dad. We're going to hang out for a little bit and then go back home. This is during summer break. It was in July, as usual. But we don't go to his work. We go to Ferry Landing, and we take the ferry over to the convention center,
Damn, that's smart, actually.
When we get there, there's all these people just walking around dressed up, and I go, what the hell is going on? That's the first moment I look up and I see that yellow square with that eye, and it just says Comic-Con, and I go, all right, dude, this is not a normal day at the office, man. This is gonna be sick. And I just remember walking around seeing people dressed up as Star Trek characters, Star Wars characters. People were selling comic books. There was anime being sold there. And the ticketing process, or getting your badge, like you said, man, you just walked upstairs, you paid $20-$40. I might have been free since I was young. You pay $20, and what they did was they give you your badge, a little holder for it so you can pin it on yourself. No lanyards. And they give you a little sticky and a pen. You have to write your own name on this damn badge, dude. I remember I'm writing my name all sloppy. My dad has bubble letters and shit writing his name, and I go, man, mine doesn't even look cool anymore. We put it on, walking around, dude, looking at all these Princess Leia's and stuff walking around. It's amazing, and we're not even really talking to anyone or going through anything. We're just looking at stuff. My dad's telling me what some stuff is and all that, At the time, my dad was really into this comic series called Heavy Metal, and it's just adult shit. This is that adult fantasy stuff where there's chicks like Barbarella in metal bikinis and shit.
Wow.
So yeah, he was into that stuff. I remember I would steal them from the garage and read them in my room, just look at all the naked chicks. But anyways, there was a corner of the convention center of Comic-Con that was all heavy metal, or all that type of comic, and there were naked chicks like hanging out over there.
Damn.
And I'm walking with my dad, not noticing, and then all of a sudden, similar to you, I just see ass everywhere, just chicks in bikinis everywhere, and I go, what the fuck?
This is gonna be a good day.
He goes, oh, you brought your son to Comic-Con, that's so cute. And my dad's like, oh yeah, you want to take a picture? And we were like taking pictures. I don't know if he has them. He must have them somewhere, man.
Yeah,
but
you gotta show me that.
we were taking pictures with them, and all of a sudden some guy walks up and goes, hey, you got to be over 18 to be in this area. And my dad's like, oh, all right. So we walk out, and I think we're gonna go, look at other stuff at the con. And my dad goes, oh no, here, just stand here, I'll be back in like 10 minutes. So he left me to go hang out with naked chicks, man.
Oh, shit.
But that was like my first, what I remember the most about Comic-Con, my first experience, man. I just remember, like, you being overwhelmed when you get there. What are these people doing out here?
Yeah.
And you get inside and you go, oh, okay, this is what's going on, and it was cool, right? I mean, you could go in, buy your ticket, and walk around, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I just was thinking, man, I remember the time when like they started introducing like movies and TV shows, and you were still able to get your badge and wait in line, but now it's like you gotta battle each other. You gotta do some gotta have 4 computers or 10 computers ready to go to purchase a badge.
Hell yeah, yeah.
And sometimes you don't even make it in.
Dude, I think before. So I remember for the first maybe 3 or 4 years we were lining up to get our tickets. But then I think there was a mailing system. You mailed in a registration form or something, and then you got something back, and you still had to line up to go pick it up, and then you had to write your name and all that stuff still. But yeah, the internet thing maybe wasn't until the past 8 years, I want to say. It's fairly new. As long as Comic-Con's going on.
Yeah, I
so
have no idea.
I don't know, man. It's wild, man. It's wild as much as it changed, and I think I'll have to do some research on this too. But from my perspective, I think the change started with Transformers when that when the first live-action Transformers movie came out. That's when the script just flipped on itself, because then this comic book, this nerd quote-unquote culture started becoming more mainstream, right? I want to say even before the Spider-Man movies came out, those weren't even really at Comic-Con like that. But for sure, when Transformers came out, I remember they rolled in the big ass of legit 18-wheeler inside of the Comic-Con, and they had it covered up in a black tarp, and I was thinking the whole time, this is a waste of space. What's this doing here, right? And then that was on Thursday. We went back on Friday, and they unveiled it, and it was Optimus Prime. And I was tripping because I'm a huge fan of that. I'm a huge fan of the animated series and the animated movie with Unicron. Oh, that's my shit, dude.
Shit.
And I was just tripping out. So, and from then on, you saw more movies come in, more TV networks come in, and it just got wilder and wilder. And as the same time, I think in correlation with the internet becoming way crazy, nothing was really niche anymore. Just nerd, geek comic book culture just raised, and it became more mainstream like that.
Yeah,
so
and I was thinking, I remember the times when all this culture, this pop culture, wasn't even mainstream too. Like people were kind of like closet nerds. They would hide their interest and not really reveal what they were into. But now that Comic-Con became super big with the movies and all that, it's just everyone's now openly expressing themselves, dressing up, going to this con, and I find that like really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think so too, for sure. It's cool, but at the same time, I think it takes away from it a little bit, because when you go there, it's not as special anymore because there's so many people. I'm not saying to make it super exclusive, but they got to change the format or something.
Yeah.
I know they renewed it for a few more years at least. I think the lease was up here in San Diego, but they were able to renew it, so that's good. At least we can enjoy it here a little bit longer.
They should at least maybe divide it, like have 1 week for, I don't know, movies and certain stuff like that, and then the next week would be like booths and vendors and panels.
Yeah, or maybe expand the convention center, please. San Diego, what are you
Dude, the
doing?
mayor is all for it. It's just we don't have the money.
Yeah, man, it's fucking horrible, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Comic Con, 13 days away. It's gonna be crazy. You know what else I remember too is, the first time I was ever at Comic Con was the first time I ever saw the Hulk, Lou Ferrigno,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, and from that day it's kind of been Where's Waldo? Because he's always out there. You just see this dude in a tank top that's jacked walking around. And back then, you know, people that were going to Comic Con weren't really looking like that. So you saw this guy that looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger walking around Comic Con, and you thought, oh, okay, yeah, that's Lou Ferrigno. Who, by the way, has a horrible reputation of just being a jerk. I think every year I've heard a horror story about someone's interaction with Lou Ferrigno.
Jeez.
So that kind of sucks. But yeah, crazy times. 13 days, man.
Yeah.
13
It was just
days.
yesterday they were saying, oh, yeah, we got to wait till next year for Comic-Con. And now we got to wait 2 weeks for Comic-Con. Time goes by so fast.
I know, dude. I mean, I was just looking at my badge right now. And that's another thing that's been super crazy, right? Is you order your badge online, they mail it to you. Now it comes in a fancy box. They give you a Comic-Con 2017 pin. You get a scan card that you scan to go in and out, man. It's getting wild now, bro.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that their security, though, is still kind of lacking. It's like anyone can walk in with anything with that type of crowd. And we don't... I think the Comic-Con doesn't really have the metal detectors or the bag checks, so... It's
Wasn't there
pretty scary.
Isn't there a convention-wide just ban on weapons now anyways?
Well, I hope that's the case, but there's still still people that would sneak things in, sneak props, weapons, and
Well,
whatnot.
I don't think cosplay is that worth it, dude. But no,
Yeah.
you didn't hear about that guy that tried to kill the Green Ranger?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, even if they ban weapons and cosplay stuff, there's still people that would sneak in like real weapons and real threats to the general public, and that's what I always like get anxious about when I go to these cons, because it's like, it can happen any second. The same situation with the Green Ranger. It can just happen at San Diego Comic-Con, and there's no way, there's no security, there's no control over that, and with this amount of people, it just makes it really tough too.
I feel you. I think I'll just put that in the back of my mind, though. Ignorance is
Dude.
definitely bliss. And no, I mean, if the security at Comic Con was awesome enough to throw out your nephews when they had fake badges, I'm hoping they'll be awesome enough to throw someone out, or to at least take action when someone pulls out a gun or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Just grab them right away. Because John Raymond was fucking gone when we were getting checked.
that was amazing. That was amazing. I think
Blinked and he was gone.
Comic Con tickets were just hard to get to, man, and you had to do anything. I remember that year, I think we snuck in 2 people. I had a Photoshop badge, and we are just walking around. And I've never talked to security ever at Comic Con, but for whatever reason, that year was the year. Oh, this guy, let me look at your badge, man. That's
Oh, it was my
Photoshop.
nephew Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah. And once the lady looked at his, everybody kind of dipped out. Oh, we're not with him. Just kind of turned around and walked away, dude. Good times, and many more to be had, man. July 20th, dude, it's coming up, man. But in the meantime, we're gonna talk about something that Rick alluded to earlier. That's our backlogs, man.
Oh,
Now these
bad.
are video games that we own, but we haven't played yet. They're sitting out here collecting dust, whether it's physically in a box somewhere or on our hard drives. It's something we could just click or press download on and play an hour later. But we're not doing it. And it's for whatever reason is out there. So let's start with you. How did your backlog start?
It started when I started collecting. I said started twice, but when when I began to collect games, all of these games that like really came out like sequentially. like
Okay.
in a row, and I couldn't keep up with playing the games. I couldn't beat the game in time before the next game came out. So I would just keep buying these games while I'm playing a different game, um, and it kept adding up. And then so it came to the point where I was collecting like more than 20 different backlogs. I'm not going to go through the list because I completely forgot half of them, but it just my list started to grow and grow, and I was thinking, why haven't I been playing all these games that everybody enjoyed back in the day? And I have a feeling it was with people's patience. Like you have to spend the time to actually get into a game and to get
Ah,
very immersed, and
okay.
it takes time to actually do that. So when, at our age, we start thinking about that immersion, that we have to spend that time to get there, we tend to push it off and tend to get caught up in other different things where, like I was saying, people these days like to get into a game that's more easily to get in, to learn, and to get right back out, and then that's where like mobile games come in.
Hmm.
But for other games, you'd have to be solely invested in a game that you really want to play in. That's why for the other games that you want to play, it becomes a backlog because you don't have that patience to play these games.
I feel you on that one. And I think now as we get older, I hate to talk about how old we are again, but
What?
you're.
What'd you say?
Oh my god, PlayStation 5. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But your time's more valuable. You go to work, do your thing afterwards, go to the gym, hang out with friends, girlfriend thing, whatever. And that's all time. And how are you gonna manage that and fit video games that you want to play in there too, right? So
Yeah.
I definitely feel you that it's a time thing and how you want to invest it. Mine definitely started. I'm gonna say with Destiny, man. Because before that,
Destiny.
yeah, before that, I wasn't really playing games like that. We were playing Final Fantasy 14 for sure. This was what 3-4 years ago. We started
Yeah.
playing Final Fantasy 14, and that's what I was doing. And I never really got played video games like that. I would just buy my favorites or what I wanted to play. The Call of Duties back in the day, any Grand Theft Auto that came out, Red Dead. But outside of that, I didn't really play games like that. But then when Final Fantasy 14 came out, I was playing that a lot. That kind of stagnated, and you got me into Destiny. So I started playing Destiny. In that meantime, I got a good job, got some good money coming in. Steam summer sales. I finally buy a computer so I can get on these Steam summer sales, and it grew from there, man. Along with some free games we got on PlayStation Plus, since every month you get a game from there. Sales on PlayStation Plus. I'm buying all these games, but I'm still playing Destiny. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
see,
it
that's
just.
what I was like. Yep. We get so invested in one game,
Hmm.
we don't really have the time for the other games. And Steam sales doesn't help it at all.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, I wanted to play this game, and it's only like $2. You buy it, it's just going right back to the backlog.
Yep. Yep. That is for sure, man. And funny story, I did open up Steam because I saw somewhere that the Steam summer sales had started. Haven't opened up Steam in a while. Open it up. It has to download 50 million updates first and foremost. Once I finally get in there, I'm scrolling through my games and I see the sales and I go, "Oh, hey, Mad Max! I heard that was a good game. That's open world. You get to build your car, blow shit up. Awesome." I click on the page. You already own this game. What?
Oh wow!
Since when? Since when did I buy this, man? So it's crazy.
2012. That's when you bought it.
Throw that in my backlog straight away, man. So it's wild. But you said you don't remember any of your backlog games?
Oh no, no, no! I have a list of usually the main games that I can remember,
Uh huh.
but there's like a huge backlog list on the PlayStation 3 that I have to
Ooh.
go through it, and I think I've stored them away in the attic somewhere, so
Oh
I have to
wow.
get back to. Yeah, yeah. And now I got a PlayStation 3 again. So originally I sold my PlayStation 3
Hmm.
thinking I would never play these games again, but I ended up getting another PlayStation 3, so I got to get to those games.
Damn, dude. That's so. And with me, I think similar to what you were saying about getting immersed, I am a completionist. I don't know what it is, but I just have to finish everything.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And that includes, I think, the trophy system is the
Oh,
worst,
really? You have to go all the
the
way?
worst creation of all mankind. Because no
Oh
matter what, I used to
no.
just, we used to just play a game, finish it. Oh, cool, we finished the game. Awesome. Maybe on the rare off cases like Metal Gear Solid, you go, oh, awesome, I finished the game and I got the stealth pack. Let me play it over so I can get the headband so I can get unlimited ammo, right?
Yep.
There are those rare cases like that where maybe you played a game more than once. But usually you finish a game and you're done. Trophies came out. Psych! That's not how you do it anymore, man. You finish the game. Look at I finished the game. I look at the trophies. Look what I missed. Oh, I gotta kill 3 guys with 1 grenade. Easy, And then there's those impossible ones. For example, in Batman, where you have to perform a perfect combo in a training area, right? And that
Yeah.
combo is fucking 50 hits in a row.
Yeah.
And there's only 10 guys that come out, so you have to land a combo on every guy. It's trophies are the worst invention or implementation in gaming, I think. I mean, it's just made me linger on games so much more. Um, just because those are out.
Yeah.
Especially, and that's sometimes that deters me from playing a game because I'll get something and then I'll first thing I'll look at is the trophies and I'll see what I have to do and how if it's worth my time. I think
Judging a game before you even play it.
that's what I'm saying, man. I think the most recent example is oh man, it's this game. It's a dungeon crawler, where it's a multiplayer. There's 4 people, and you are in dungeons just beating shit up. A hack and slash type game. And I was playing with Anthony and a few other people at the time, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, man, play this game. We all play it." Blah blah blah. And I go, holding off on playing it. Finally, I play it with them, and I get 1 trophy, and they never play again. And I'm sitting here with
The
this 1 trophy,
worst.
and it's just eating away at my soul every time I look at my trophies. I'm like, "Yep, platinum, 5%. What?" And I go, "There's no way I'm getting back to that, man."
No.
So I
Can
think
you delete that stuff?
you can only delete it if it's at 0%. So
Oh
thankfully,
God.
there's that. With those games that I accidentally press start on but never really do anything.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there's that. But yeah, you can't delete those. And legitimately, it has deterred me from playing games. For example, another one is Infamous, the expansion that came out for that, Lost Light, where you get to play as a different character in the same story.
Uh-huh.
I'm not playing that because one of the trophies is so ridiculous. You have to score.
What is it?
I think you have to score 1,000,000 points in something. There's a point system, and you have to score a high amount to get the trophy. And at the guys I was looking at, it just looks too cumbersome to do. So I won't even play that. I mean, I'm sure the story is great, and I love stories in video games, if I ever mention that. And I just won't play it because of that trophy, dude. It's so bad.
Damn. I think the worst trophy I've ever seen is a trophy from either Killzone 1 or 2, and it's you have to be top 3% in PvP.
Oh my god. But you got
Yeah.
that, huh?
No, hell no. I
Oh,
think Danny
what?
got it. Yeah, dude, it was crazy back then. Like everybody was really competitive, and they were
Mhm.
super good at being, in PvP. But it was just like, how can you put a trophy on that stuff when knowing like the other 97% of the world sucks balls in PvP? So, that was the worst trophy I've ever seen.
Damn, dude. Yeah. What's the hardest one you've ever had to work for?
Ah, dude, I don't remember. I think it had something to do with sniping, and it was like, yeah, to snipe 2 people at one time and kill them.
Oh.
And it had to be like a headshot or something like that. So they
Mhm.
had to line up perfectly. And I think this was also in Killzone. It was like in PvP, or I don't remember. It was a crazy trophy, and I spent like almost like a month just trying to get that trophy. and I end up getting it by like an accident or something.
Yeah,
So,
that's the ones, man. And then the collectible ones where you have to, like in Assassin's Creed, where you have to collect 50 feathers for Petruchio or for your mom.
yep.
I will take the time to do that. So that's another factor of my backlog, along with these MMO-ish type games that I could just sink a bunch of time into. Um, yeah, trophies kind of deter me, man. So
Yep.
what are some standouts that are on your list that you got right now?
Okay, I got a huge list, and I'm not sure if we have the time to go through all
Well,
of
here
it.
we'll go back and forth. So you say one, and then I'll say one.
Okay, Dark Souls 3. That's still,
Oh,
oh my god, I still have to mentally prepare to be able to play that game because I just don't want to get invaded and I don't want to disconnect the internet. But
hmm.
since my internet sucks balls, now I can go ahead and play without having to worry
They're not
worried
gonna
about
match you
getting
up.
invaded. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I'm gonna be lagging, so I can go ahead and whoop ass while they're lagging. So
hell yeah, they're not gonna match people up with your trash internet, man.
yeah, amazing.
Wow, man. Okay, so in that same vein, I still have to play Dark Souls 1 and 2. I've never finished those.
Oh, really? I thought you finished one.
No, I think the last thing I beat in 1 was the butterfly, and that was it. That was the last boss I beat. Yeah, I fought the butterfly that shoots lasers at you, and then I fought that Hydra in the lake, which is a pain in the ass boss, by the way. Sidebar. So you have to fight this like Hydra multi-headed dragon, and it's kind of you can't get close to it because if you go close to it, you fall off the edge and drown, and you just die. So you have to wait for this thing to attack so you can hit its head. Oh my god,
Oh wow.
that fight
Yeah.
was so cumbersome, man. But yeah, both of those, and then I played Dark Souls 2 for maybe I want to say an hour or two, and the fact that you really can't dodge in that game, and I couldn't figure out how to get Estus flasks. I was using um these potions that I had to buy. I couldn't replenish them. That kind of turned me off. I mean, I got to spend more time on it, but you really can't dodge in Dark Souls 2. You got to do more parrying and blocking and stuff. So it's a lot
Yeah, I
slower.
was gonna say, you were pretty spoiled with Bloodborne, I bet.
And that
Jumping
was a
into
bad,
that.
yeah, that was a bad introduction to the series. I think you're right. It did spoil me for everything else.
Yeah, yeah, because we're like, oh wow, you can dodge everything in Bloodborne because me and my cousin just came from Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and we're like, you gotta block right at the perfect moment. You gotta make sure you dodge two enemies, but in Bloodborne, you're like, nope, nope, jump on their back, shoot them, stab them, so. And you don't have to worry about their stamina bar too. So
Yeah, so as well. What's another one on your list?
let me browse my list real quick. Have you heard of a game called Honey Pop?
I'm gonna say no, but I have heard of that game.
No, no, no. You probably mastered this and got all the trophies.
Get out of my face with that.
But
You have that game and you've never played it?
yeah, so essentially, there was a time when all of our friends managed, or they bought the game, and they were trying to get me to play the game because it's super addicting. And apparently, it got good reviews, it got good scores, and so essentially, this game is you play something like Bejeweled, and
Oh, okay. So
it's
it's a
like a
puzzle game?
dating sim. Yeah, yeah, it's a puzzle game, and and it's like a dating sim. And the goal is to I don't know, but it looks like the goal is to sleep with the girl or get with the girl. And there's like hentai scenes and this stuff. And what I've learned from my friends is this game was made uncensored. So the game, when you buy the game originally, it's censored, but there's like a way you can uncensor it. And so I'm guessing that's why it was really popular and people were really solely invested in playing that game. But I managed to pick up the game, and I just have to spend some time alone playing the game because I don't want to be caught trying to play Bejeweled in a dating sim trying to get laid with this girl or something like that.
Man, this is one of the times I wish we had a camera so you could see the look on
Nope.
my face right now, dude.
We're talking about you mastered this game, so.
Oh, definitely. The only thing I really know about the Honey Pop is that you can't play it on Twitch. That's the only thing I know about it.
Oh, really? Did they censor that shit?
Yeah, there's a list. There's a list of maybe 20 games that you can't play on Twitch. Honey Pop is on there, and the Yandere Simulator we were talking about last week.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot stream those games.
Wow.
That is hilarious, dude. Another one for me, I'll say kind of similar to yours, a puzzle game. Well, not really puzzle game. I bought this game called Democracy 3 back in the day. It's a simulator where you get to control the politics of your country, and make sure you're successful over everybody else. And I thought I was gonna get really into it at the time, but of course you shoot aliens in Destiny, so that seemed like a better option than trying to run my own country.
Is this like a simulator, like a Sims game?
Yeah. I'd say it's a Sims game. You get to choose a path on where you want to go. You have to choose where your money goes, what influence you want to have. Just regular politics stuff. If you're pro-life, pro-abortion, regular politics stuff. So for me, I went to college. I majored in political science. I thought I'd be
a master at that shit.
I thought it'd be super cool to play, but yeah, shooting aliens in the face is way more fun in the moment. Another game that I was really hyped for is this game called Gods Will Be Watching, and it's kind of a click and drag adventure game, but at the same time you make choices. And the thing with this game is it's super hard, so they put you in scenarios. So the first scenario is you're in a hostage situation, and I think you have 2 or 3 actions per turn, and in that time you have to check the hostages, you have to tell the cops to back off, and then you have to try and open the safe all at the same time.
What?
And
it's like a decision you have to make to get to that?
Yeah, well, you get options. You get one character who's the boss of this crew that's taking people hostage, and then you have to choose options on what you want to concentrate on. Whether you want to concentrate on intimidating your hostages, concentrate on shooting at the cops real quick so they don't try and charge in, or concentrate on trying to open this safe or hack this computer. And I'm not sure. I've never beat the first level. That's how hard it is. So I'm not sure how you beat it, but I feel like you have to do a perfect set of choices to win,
Yeah.
Because I kept fucking up. And hostages were freaking out, so they would start running, and I would have to choose to shoot them or just let them go, because if you just let them go, then other people will be like, I could just run out too, and then if you skip a turn intimidating the cops, they'll throw grenades and fuck you up. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I think in theory it's a cool game, but again, shooting aliens in the face as a quicker satisfaction than thinking through a hostage scenario. And there's other ones too. I mean, I think the first exposure I got to it was on the developer's website, and what happened was you crash landed on a planet, and you had to do the same thing, manage decisions on whether you wanted to fix a radio, go out and find food, ration out the food and water. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just a bunch of hard choices you have to make, and you have to do it in the right way to continue. So that was
so it's like a specific choice. It doesn't really affect the ultimate end.
I don't know, because I haven't gotten that far. But for sure, the choices you make depend on whether you beat the level or not.
Yeah.
So what else you got on yours?
One of the games that I haven't played when it released is Gravity Rush, and
Ooh.
That game is like, I remember it was like really popular back in the day, and it was super crazy. Like, the price for that game never went down, and that's what that was really what got me. Is like, this game can go on for maybe 4 or 5 years and still maintain the same price. Every time I go to GameStop, I'm waiting for the price of the game to go down, but it's just still like $40. And then the only time the price actually went down is when a remastered version of it came out, but it's still maintaining the same price. And I guess that game is that good enough to be able to maintain a price for that long, other than Super Smash Bros. Melee. I remember I bought that game for maybe $60 when the Wii came out, and then it was like 4 or 5 years later, I went to go trade it into GameStop, and they gave me $55 in store credit for that game.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous. And then I looked to see how much they were selling for, and it was still $60. And I was like, wow, $60 for a used game, and they're still selling that game. So I just have to get. I have Gravity Rush remastered. I just have to spend the time to actually sit down and go ahead and play that game, because I think it's about this girl that controls gravity, and she has the power of gravity, and she flies and kicks people, and
Yeah.
I guess number 2 is the same thing. But I was looking at the DLC of Gravity Rush 2, and it looks like some of the costumes are like almost $5 to $10 just to get that costume
In
for
a
the main
single player
character.
game?
Yeah, single player game. And I
Wow.
was like, wow, I guess it's that good, and I checked the reviews, and it actually got good reviews. So that one is in my backlog.
That one's actually on mine too. Just real quick, I've put in maybe 3 or 4 hours into it. I have it on the Vita. Is it remastered on PlayStation 4?
Vita and yeah, it remastered on PlayStation 4.
Okay. Yeah, so I have it on the Vita. And no, yeah, that game is super fun. I'm not sure if you utilize the touchscreen or the back touchpad,
Hmm.
or if you have to tilt the. I don't remember. I just remember there were some intuitive functions on there that involved more than just pressing the buttons. Because then you'd float, you'd turn off gravity on yourself, and then you would pick a target and turn on gravity onto that target, so you just fly super fast to some other direction. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, that game is fun, but shooting aliens in the face, man, what beats that, bro?
Well, shooting aliens in the face part 2 is coming out soon, so
That's true, I know. And what do we got in the meantime? Final Fantasy.
yep.
Name off. Let's do a quick fire. Just name off 2 or 3 more, or no, name off the rest of your list and maybe go in depth on like 2 or 3 more, man.
Okay. So Little Big Planet 3. I remember the time when me, you, and Marcel started playing Little Big Planet 1, and that's what got me hooked. But yeah, Little Big Planet 3, Metal Gear Solid 5. I still haven't played that game.
Me
even
too.
though-
And Ground Zeroes.
Yeah, even though Ground Zero was alright, I guess. I don't know, I haven't played that. But yeah, that game got almost a perfect score. Shadows of Mordor, I haven't played yet.
On mine
Infamous
too.
2. Yeah. Infamous 2. Crysis. I have played none of the Crysis. I just want to get that game so I can see how well my PC can handle the game. So, yeah, there's that. Assassin's Creed Unity and Syndicate. I guess that one was... Unity is the ones with the French Revolution, and Syndicate's the one in London?
Yeah, and I think, did I borrow both of those from you? Or
Yeah,
did I just
yeah,
borrow-
so
okay.
It's
So
all yours, but...
a funny story. I kind of threw myself into this one. I have the whole Assassin's Creed series in my backlog, just because my punk ass was like, "Oh, hey, the new one's coming out. I might as well play all
and
the
play
games."
them all at one time.
And no, I know at the start of this, I was at a good pace. I
Very
beaten
optimistic. Yeah.
1 and 2, about 2.5 weeks. I was on Brotherhood. It's been maybe a month since then.
Yep.
Still on Brotherhood. So I kind of jacked myself up with that one.
Yeah. So, going down the list more. Dragon's Dogma. Have you played that one?
No, I think I saw you play it, or you showed me a trailer where people were fighting a griffin or something like that. They were hanging off his leg and just slashing at it.
Yeah. That one's like a really fast hack and slash RPG. but
Mhm.
I thought it was gonna be online and multiplayer, but I think they removed it at the near the end before releasing it to the public because it was originally supposed to be for co-op. But yep, that's why I didn't get that game. Neko Neko Para,
I'm not even gonna ask.
2 words, cat maids.
Again, for the record, I didn't ask.
What you mastered this? So, a PlayStation 3 game actually I wanted to say is Eternal Sonata. Have you ever played that one? It's a
Ooh,
Japanese
no.
RPG. It got good reviews, but I heard it was like a really good RPG for its time. It
Okay.
became one of the like greatest sellers. On a PlayStation 3, Tales of Xillia. Yeah, not sure about that, but the last one that I would like to mention is, have you heard of a game called To the Moon?
To the Moon. It sounds familiar, but
Um,
is that like a? Is that a first-person kind of storytelling game?
It is a storytelling game. It's like a 2-bit storytelling game.
Okay.
But the story for this game, dude, I cried at the end. That's how good this game was. Like, I was
Wait.
watching a streamer. No, I didn't play the game. I was watching a streamer play the game.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
he, going through the whole story, it just the way the story laid out for the audience, it really is in depth, and it really touches your soul.
Mhm.
So the ending just really made me cry, and I was like a little baby. I was like, "Oh my god!" I wanted to go in depth with this and just give you an overall,
Go for it, dude.
Nah, it's gonna take up too much time. So yeah, you gotta check that out. But
So is it? It's on Steam.
yeah, it's on Steam. I think it's only for like $2
And-
or $3.
You'd still want to play this even though you've seen the ending?
Yeah, it's a good story. It's a really good story. I don't. Should I spoil it, or do you plan on playing it?
Go for it, dude.
All right. I
Wait.
will.
Yeah. Spoilers for To the
Spoiler.
Moon.
To the Moon. You can stop listening and then listen later.
All right, go for it, man.
But essentially, with To the Moon, you're 2 scientists, and these scientists are contracted with their customers to. It's like Inception. For the people that are dying, they go to these people that are dying, and then they grant them their wish, their dream that they ever wanted to do in life. And how you do that, you have to alter their memories. So they hook up to this machine, and they go into their customers' minds, and they alter the memories so that before they die, they can believe that they accomplished their dream.
Oh no, dude, I'm crying already.
so they go to this old guy's house, and you kind of have to do like a little investigation, and you go and you find a bunch of origami bunnies. And you learn that his wife passed away, and then you ask him like, okay, what is your dream? What do you want to do? He's like, I want to go to the moon. And then people were thinking like, oh, that's kind of absurd dream, but sure, we're contracted to you. We're gonna make your dream a reality. And so they go into his mind, and then so before you can alter the memories, you have to keep going back and back and back to the root of why he wants to do this. Why does he want to go to the moon? So you start off going to one of his memories when he was like still old, and you find out like you see a lighthouse. He owns a lighthouse with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, that's very symbolic. So later down the line, you go back further into his memories, and you go to all the way back to save some time, all the way back to his childhood. And it turns out like he was at a festival with his brother, and the old dude.
Yeah,
the one that's dying.
the one
So-
that you're. Yeah.
in his mind. So we're reliving his memories. So we follow him to like an area where he's like looking up at the stars, and he meets this little girl, and this little girl's like saying, "Yeah, this is my spot, but I do want to share this moment with you, and like look up at the stars. These at this time he was like 5 or something like that. These two were 5,
Mhm.
and then so they start creating a bond with each other, and as soon as he's getting ready to leave, she says, "Don't forget, are we gonna ever meet again?" And then he goes, "Yeah, well, I'll be here every year, to meet with you at this particular spot to look up at the stars."
Mhm.
And she was like, "Okay, don't forget, don't forget." And then he's like, "Don't worry. If we ever forget, we can regroup at the moon." And then so the next day, it turns out it was his brother died. His brother, I think, got hit like by the car, and it was his
Mhm.
fault.
Oh,
So
what?
yeah, so the guilt actually covered his memory of that point of meeting the girl. So he grows up to the point where he's a teenager and he meets the girl again.
Mhm.
But this time he forgot. He doesn't know who this girl is. And then she, they start dating and everything, and then to the point where they're married and all that. And then she starts making these bunnies, these origami bunnies. And it was because that it was about that time that she shared with him that she said, "Oh yeah, do you remember that time where the bunnies, or the moon and the stars, we pointed it out and it made a shape of a bunny." So throughout the entire time of his memories, you're still trying to figure out why does he want to go to the moon, but in the end, you do figure it out. And then one of the scientists has to alter the memories, so he has to delete his entire memories of him being with his wife. And it's like it starts digging into your sense of morale, like thinking,
Oh
okay,
man.
yeah, like, is it okay to erase someone's existence, of their memories, just so they can accomplish their dream? And then he's like, the scientist is like, "Yeah, we're contracted. We got to do this. We got to do this." So you alter his memories to the point where he becomes an astronaut. And then when he's about to get ready to go into space, the old man's about to go into space as an astronaut. He meets the girl, his wife again, but this
Mhm.
time it's a different setting. He's this the wife is just going with him to space. This girl's going with him to space, and then at the very end, like they're like holding each other's hand, and then it goes quiet. So all you hear is the old man's heartbeat, like beating really slow,
Oh
and then
god.
right when they see the moon, it just flatlines. And I was like,
Oh no,
fuck.
man.
So he accomplished his dream, of going to the moon, and it was the moral of the thing was he was going to the moon so he can see his wife again.
Yeah,
I was
because she died and they would
like,
alternately
yep,
get them. Oh my god, man.
dude. I just told the whole
That
game,
hurts my
but
heart, bro.
yeah, dude, I was like getting teary. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, that's that game. So, what about your
That's
list, man?
I don't even want to talk about my list anymore, dude. I just want to go and
Nah, we
give
gotta
someone
go
a
through.
hug, bro. No, but dude, that's kind of like Inception. Inception spoilers. Remember at the end of that where he kills his wife
Yeah,
and she goes, "You promised we'd grow old together." It's like, "Oh,
yeah.
we did in our dreams." That's kind of what that reminds me
Oh,
of, dude.
yeah, that's how it was. Yeah. It's just
But
the way it was set up, it's just like she was this entire time she was just trying to get him to remember, we got to meet at the moon if he ever
yeah,
forgets, and he's, yeah, it just blows my mind.
shit, shooting aliens in the face though.
Yeah, we got to shoot aliens in the
Okay,
face.
so quick fire. The rest of my list. I got similar to the games you got. I have Fez on mine. Bully. I just need to play again. 'Cause the last time I played that, I was on PlayStation 2.
Oh, they remastered
Batman.
that?
Yeah, it's on PlayStation 4 now. So I actually have it too,
Shit.
but just never got around to playing it. Batman Arkham series. Life is Strange. I love the Telltale games. so I think this will be right up my alley too. I got a Humble Bundle a long time ago that came with Bastion, Braid, Limbo, a bunch of other stuff too, so I still need to play those. Each of these games I've legit put an hour into and just never got around to finishing it. Emily is Away too. I hyped that game up so much and I still haven't played it. Mad Max that I just randomly picked up. Middle Earth just purchased recently, which I heard is free right now on Steam. So
Mad Max?
RIP. No, Shadow of Mordor.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
still
alright.
have that game. I just haven't played it.
Yeah, RIP $4 I spent last week. Spec Ops: The Line. I haven't finished that.
What game is that
Sleeping
about?
Dogs. That one's about you're trying to rescue a lieutenant or a general from Dubai or something, and the whole town has just gone to shit, and there's rebels and army defectors fighting each other. Have you ever seen the movie Apocalypse Now?
I haven't.
I think it's kind of like that, just about the horrors of war and people going crazy during it. But it's a third-person shooter with a really good story that hasn't been ruined for me yet. And this game came out over 5 years ago, I think now. So like I put maybe 3 hours into that. Still need to finish that. Sleeping Dogs, Skyrim, Witcher 2 and 3. Witcher 2, I finished the whole first act and I'm in the second chapter. But in the first chapter, you have to kill this monster. It's not a kraken, but it's some kind of swamp monster, right?
Uh-huh.
And after you kill it, you know, it's the second chapter. I never looted that boss.
Oh,
the
so
second
you have
chapter-
to go all the way back? Or you can
So in
restart
this-
the game, I bet.
That's exactly what happened. So in the second stage, there's this guy that can make armor for you, and you're talking to him, and you see he has like Kraken skin armor, and you go, "Oh man, that'd be sick," because it's way overpowered and it's way stronger than what I have. And I look at the ingredients or what you need to make it, and you need Kraken skin. And I look up online, "Oh, how do I get Kraken skin?" And they go, "Oh, just loot the boss after you beat it in the first chapter."
Oh, no!
Yeah, I totally didn't do that, so I stopped playing just for that. Yeah, Witcher 3, Yakuza 4 and 5, because those were free on PlayStation 3 a while back. Rise, Son of Rome, and last but not least, Xenogears.
Oh, dude, you gotta just drop your entire list and play Xenogears.
And you know what? I think that's what it's gonna be, man. I want to get into another RPG like back in the day, like Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, the ones I was really into. And I think Xenogears will do that for me. So maybe,
Yeah.
who knows, man? Maybe I'll play it on my spare time. I'm not sure if I could play it on Vita. If I can,
I
that'd be
think
even better.
you can. Yeah, you can buy it and play it on Vita. I'm not sure. I bought it on PlayStation. I think 4 or 3. So.
Yeah, I have it on 3, so I don't know if you can do that. But
Oh, okay.
I'll do some research. But I think that'll be the next one I really play. If it's on Vita, the better. So yeah, man, those are our backlogs. I think there's like a dirty joke in there somewhere. What's something that every gamer has? Some have long ones, some have short ones.
Oh.
It's a backlog, bro.
That's the phrase of the day?
No, man, you can't skip out on it like that.
No. I don't have one yet.
But yeah, man, that's it for us this week. I'm not sure. I think we ran a little bit long, but you know, backlogs are just that crazy. Preview for next week. I think we finally want to dive into talking about the characteristics of gaming. I think we've discussed a little bit here and there: story, gameplay, controls, graphics, all that stuff. We'll figure out what they are first and foremost, and then maybe we'll go more in depth with them each episode moving forward. But yeah, man. So before we go, Rick, some words of wisdom?
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
All right, guys. Have a good weekend. Stay